Hi Stitchers, my name is Linda. My channel is Blue Horse Yellow Cow. It's a FlossTube channel about stitching, cross stitching, and thank you for being here if you're here right now. People who have watched before know that a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, I had talked about a giveaway, a multiple giveaway for my 1000th viewer and my 1-year FlossTube anniversary. And said that I would be back in a couple of weeks. My daughter and I were going on a vacation to Disney World, and before I left, I had begun having some problems with my back, which was something new to me, so I ignored it. It was okay on our trip because there was a lot of walking involved, and that was better than being still. But when we got home and we weren't walking miles per day, it got a lot worse, and I finally had to recognize that I needed to see a doctor and treat it, and that's being done now, but that kind of threw me off any kind of schedule I would have had. So I'm here now to complete those giveaways and talk a little bit about a beer and talk a lot about cross stitch. So I know we're women and we're not supposed to apologize anymore, and I'm down with that, but I am going to disclaimer about what is bound to be poor lighting. I can't seem to find time during the day to make these videos, so it ends up being evening, and if I make the light any brighter, it reflects so badly off of my glasses, not so much the lens, but the frames, that it would not be pleasant to look at. And so it's going to be dim and grainy, but I'm assuming most stitchers are not looking at the screen anyway. We're just stitching and listening. So I think it'll be fine. Tonight I'm going to go with a dark beer, Deschutes Brewery, and I think I remember they're in Bend, Oregon, Obsidian Stout. This is a dark one for fall, and I'll show you how dark. I'm not such a dark beer drinker, but my husband loves them, so we always have this in the house. This I'm supposed to be able to taste, yeah, it's really dark, espresso and chocolate in this, so let's give her a try. Oh, it's so dark. It's very good. This is readily available. I try to only talk about beers that anyone could get anywhere, so unless we're at a brewery, these will be available in local stores for you. Yeah, it's hearty. It is much stronger and less smooth than, say, a Guinness, but that's good for me. I like something that's hearty. So this is good. Cheers, folks. Okay. So another thing that I have realized recently, besides I have to pay attention to my body, is that when you make videos by yourself and then you make videos with a partner, which I've done with my daughter Sarah, and then you go back to making videos alone, it is just not as much fun as it is with a partner. And I don't think it's as much fun for people watching, because there's less spontaneity. You can't help it. And when somebody has a partner and the conversation is more, or more than one partner, Sunshine Stitchers. It's just so, it just flows, and there's just so much fun and just conversation back and forth. But my daughter doesn't live with me, so that's not going to happen. So anyway, it's a little more, it's still kind of nerve-wracking, and it's just kind of boring compared with having somebody with you. But I'm going to plow on because I love my friends that I've made on FlossTube, and I'm so thankful. So that's why I'm here. Okay, I have, let's get to the format here. My FO, I had one FO since I talked to you last because I was away and then I was occupied. So, and it was the Danish birds, which I have showed you several times before. They are now at Welcome Stitchery with Monica being framed. As usual, she instantly found a frame that was just so perfect for those little birds. Recognizing what I hadn't really articulated, but she did immediately, was that they looked both Scandinavian and a bit Oriental. So she found a beautiful frame molding, which I'll show you next time, which really served the aesthetic, the multiple aesthetic of the birds. So I should have them back with me soon. That leads me to a question that I've had for you guys. I always have questions. I have done the Danish stitches, as I've explained in the past, because that's half of my heritage. And cross stitch abounds in Scandinavian needle arts, but my other half is Southern Italian, Sicilian. And I've wanted to do something to represent that side of my heritage also, but I am coming up empty. There's, I remember my grandmother doing crochet lace, but that's not something I'm going to start. I've sort of, it's time for a sip. Stephanie, Lindy Stitches, I'm so sorry to swallow on camera, but I'm not a pro. Hopefully you won't hear that. I know those noises are icky. So what was I saying? So I'm finding lots of cross stitches that are Northern Italian, Renato Paroline, I'm not sure how to say it. I have many of his charts and want to do them, but Northern Italian and Sicilian is really different. And I'm looking for something that's more targeted area-wise. And all I'm finding is the same little chart everywhere I look. That's like a little man with a funny outfit with a plume and balloony kind of pants in front of a cart, leading a cart with a little donkey, and it's just not, it's not something I want to do. So if anybody knows, I kind of doubt it, of any Southern Italian cross-stitch charts and designs, I'd be happy to hear it. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm just not going to do that. So that has to do with my Danish finish. Okay, I have one FFO since I spoke with you last, and it is a stitch along. It was Tempting Tangles called Cheerful Up. Stitch along I did with Glenn Tinsley, Southern Stitcher, and this is it. I'm really happy with the framing, as always. This frame, I'm not sure you can see this molding, but it has a tinge of red in this little beadwork rim, which looks really beautiful with it. This is a great fun stitch, and I did it, I mentioned last time, with Gentle Art Cherry Wine. It's very beautiful. It hangs on that wall, which is the wall we see when we come downstairs in the morning. So I liked it there to remind us. Also reminds me of, I had mentioned on Instagram that my husband and I are going to go see the David Byrne American Utopia show on Broadway, and he's been doing, I think they might have just extended the run because David's been showing up on talk shows, which is great. And also speaking about, I guess it would be like an online magazine that has evolved from an idea he had called Reason to Be Cheerful. And I think it was born out of distress with sort of the state of things in our country. I don't want to talk political talk, but he felt that it was important to look for not like individual human interest stories to be cheerful about, although that's perfectly valid, but little pockets in our great country where constructive things continue in this climate, and where concrete positive moves are being made, whether it's city management or I can't think of anything else right now, but waste management, whatever. But I loved that because I just finished Cheerful Up, so it was really nice to, and of course I subscribed to his mailing list. So I think it's reasontobecheerful.world. But if you just look up, if you just wanted to Google David Byrne, Reason to Be Cheerful, it'll come up. And I like it because it's concrete. So, so anyway, that's my FFO, the only one. You know I'm slow. I have 2 whips, you guys. Cheers! Oh, wow. That's like drinking strong coffee. I usually only have 1 whip, so I have 2. One I need to talk to you about because, I don't think I brought both of them. Yeah, I did. I had started, I've showed these in previous videos. For my husband, I stitched the Prairie Schooler alphabet letters in each of our initials. And just to see if I would like them, and I did love them. And I mean, what's not to love? It's Prairie Schooler. So after I did the 2 of ours, I decided to go ahead and do the rest of our family. So that's our daughter and son and our son-in-law. And so these are what I've showed before here. I'll just hold them both up at the same time. So these are the initials of my husband and me. I stitched these either in Q-snaps with a frame, or with a stand, or on a hoop with a stand, or in my hands. So I've been returning to stitching in hand a bit lately. I used to stitch in hand when I began, and went away from that for years and have wanted to pick it up again. And so I decided to stitch the next initial which is S which is for Sarah, but it's S is for sewing. And I decided to, since I was kind of in stitching in hand mode, to go ahead and do that. And I got quite a bit of the way through. I don't think I have no, I don't have it with me. So I got probably 3/4 of the way through the S, and it wasn't that I didn't like the way it was looking, but stitching in hand, people say otherwise, but I think stitching in hand always looks different than stitching on a taut surface. I like it equally as much, maybe even better, because there's a little variation in the stitches, and to me that's what imbues it with the humanness of the person stitching. But these are all going to hang together when they're finished, and I felt that the inconsistency between the ones that I stitched stretched and the ones I stitched, the one I was stitching in hand, was just too great. And maybe it's boring, but I want them to all look the same because they are going to be together. So as I said, about 3/4 of the way through, I decided I was going to start again. So I wasn't going to rip all of that out. So I just started again on a new piece of fabric. And let me see if I think I have it here. Yeah. So it's this one. S is for sewing. Somebody's doing this currently, the whole alphabet on one piece. So stunning. I don't have the patience to do the whole alphabet. So on my second try, I'm only this far. This will be, what's really cool about this, I wish I could show you the chart. You can see this border that's halfway is measuring tape, which, I mean, their design aesthetic is flawless. So that's as far as I am on my second go around. Of course, it's a bit slower. I am stitching two-handed, but I am stitching in a hoop with my Lowry. So it's okay. It's beautiful, and it looks like the others, which is what I want. My other whip that I have begun is this is by my Big Toe. My husband and I not joke a lot about forgetfulness, and you know, there's forgetfulness that is clinical, and of course none of us want to go there, and my heart goes out to people who are dealing with that. And then there's forgetfulness or absent-mindedness that, you know, comes quote unquote with age, and I think that kind of forgetfulness has its source in the fact that there have been almost 70 years of input, and there's just, your brain is so full of all the experiences of life and all the impressions from life. And so some of that, and I certainly see it in my parents, is just bound there's just too much to remember at a certain point when you've been around for so long. So my husband and I joke about that. And I found this design by My Big Toe, and it says, I'm not sure if I found a rope or lost my horse. And I just think that's just so perfect. Such a perfect and adorable expression of when you walk into a room and you've got a rope in your hand and you go, did I just get a new rope or did I lose my horse? Do I have a horse? So I'm doing that for my husband for Christmas. He's been away for a few days, so I got a nice start on it. I don't have my whiteboard to show. I'm doing it on a slightly darker thread, slightly darker fabric. Oh, this is not good. Yeah, it doesn't really show. Stitching this back in hand, so she's a little wrinkly from rolling. This, I'm doing it on 28 count, which I haven't stitched on in so long. It's really fun. But if I did it on 32 or 36, it would be just so tiny it wouldn't really show. So the called for was 28 count, and I'm doing it on Zweigart Cashel Raw. And in this poor evening light, romantic light, you're not going to be able to see it, but this blue is Gentle Art Presidential Blue. It's so pretty. It's just such a beautiful. It's not a gray blue. Do I have? I wonder if I can even make that show in this light. I'll try. It's like a true, that's pretty good. It's a really true, clear blue. There's clarity and there's subtle shading, subtle variegation, and enough to show. I love this color, and I'm not so much of a blue person, so this one's won me over. Okay, so that's one, and oh, that's both. So those are my whips. My Big Toe Christmas plans. I have. Oh. There's another one that Sarah and I want to do. We're just like so enchanted by Samantha Purdy's designs. Yeah, they're pretty. They're kind of Scandinavian looking, and we each chose one. I think we each chose one. I'm not sure if Sarah ever got to it. We were going to, and I chose one that I'm going to stitch, and it is called Welcome. We're gonna have like a mother-daughter stitch along. So this one is what I say, a mother welcoming daughter home. Isn't that the sweetest thing? Again, Samantha Purdy Textile, Etsy. So I've got everything I need for that. That's in my plans. That's in my non-Christmas plans. I need a sip. I'm waiting for it to grow on me. It's not. Okay, then I have some Christmas plans. And there's so much I'd like to stitch for Christmas. I realized I think I can only stitch for one holiday because our hobby is slow, and unless you have gobs of time. I love the Halloween stitching in the spring. I love the Easter stitching, but there's too much. So I'm gonna center it on Christmas. So a couple that I'm kind of obsessed with this Christmas are, this one is Tiny Modernist. Somewhere I saw someone stitching it, and the sight of it just like took me back to childhood. I think it's kind of a 50s looking design. It's called it's Christmas Stitch Along from some years ago. It's so sweet. These colors, they're just, I kidded it, and the colors are just from my youth. So I want to do that one. I'm ready to do that one. And my other that I've had for years is Christmas Joyride, Carriage House. How sweet is that? It's got the quirkiness. She's lost her hat. The animals are going every which way. It's so sweet. I love this. So I want to do this. This Christmas. Sure. So anyway, those are my plans. Those were both in my Made by Mama Joan beautiful Christmas bag. Look how pretty. I'm going to keep those together. I think that's it. Oh, I had one more thing before the giveaway. And that is, if anyone, I'm trying to see what, this is the World of Cross Stitching, one of the British magazines from September. I know people have gone through this before. It's old now. But there is, if anyone likes Art Deco, which doesn't usually show up too often in our cross-stitching world, there's a great, it's one of those features in the center where they've got lots of small motifs. And these, I wish I could show them to you because they're so cute. This is the only display page. So I'm not so much into the flapper ladies, but there's some nice border motifs that are, the geometric that's so prevalent and so representative of Art Deco. Some really cute little small isolated motifs, and I'd like to share it if anyone else is interested in Art Deco cross stitch. Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to send this magazine to you. I'm finished with it, but and I'll send it along to you. Okay, that's everything. Last time I was here, time for a sip. Gary Parr, this one's for you. I don't know if I should show these again or not. I had put together 2 packages of sort of a variety of things. The dominant feature in each package was a kitted crossed wing collection biscornu and scissor fob kit. So I kitted these up. Fabric 2. This one is the sparrow. Guys, it's a sparrow. It's not a robin. That was my mistake. So anybody who signed up for the robin, because I said it was a robin, it's a sparrow. And I knew that. The wrong word came out. So there's the sparrow. And the other is a cardinal. And that's not the only thing you're getting. There's lots of other stuff too. Some charts, some little kits. So we had, and then there's a third present, and that is for my 1000th subscriber, whose name is escaping me now, but I have it in hand. So we had, like Daylene from So Grateful, I am old school. I write down everyone's name. I'm not making any kind of statement. It's just handy, and that's what I do. So I'm sure it would be faster if I did it another way. So the first one, we had 51 people. And I'll go to the random.org generator. 1, 2, 51. And we have number, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Probably not. It's 43. So 43 is Sarah King, our Stitching Kingdom. One of the people I'm very sorry not to have met by missing Stitch West Retreat. So Sarah, I'll be sending that to you. If you see this, and comment below, or no, don't comment below. Message me. We're friends. And give me your address information and I'll send that to you. So you will get the Sparrow package. The Cardinal package had 55 people interested. So 1 through 55. We're getting number 18. Number 18 is Kathy Gester or Jester. You know, I dropped my pen, but I need need 2. Number 18, Kathy Gester, Gester, Gester. If you will claim it below, then we will also get in touch and I'll mail both of these out to you. I'm a third person who is the 1,000th subscriber. You do the same. Comment down below, or I will try to message all 3 of you apart from here. And the presents will be sent. I hope you enjoy stitching all these little goodies. I guess that's all I've got. I've been enjoying watching everyone. When I stitch at night, that's all I do. I think I'm getting a little boring to other people in my life, but that's the way it goes. So until next time, which I hope is not too long, but you guys know I'm a slow stitcher. I'm pretty much monogamous stitcher. So I'm not very interesting to come back more frequently than this. But I wish you all happy Halloween and probably a happy Thanksgiving too. Unless I suddenly get really fast and have a lot to show you. I love you all. Stitch on, brothers and sisters. Bye-bye.